Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, we'll be covering another logistics company called as Zinka Logistics or BLACKBUCK. Okay. Now, when we talk about this, I think when we talk about the entire logistics space, we've covered earlier in, we started with Tiger, then we covered AVG Logistics, then which is the other one, Premier Road Lines and SG Logistics, right? And today we'll be covering BLACKBUCK. Now, one thing that is very prominent here is the business model is completely different to the last four models that we compared. Okay. Because in the last four models, when we were talking about logistics, they maintained that traditional logistics, which is basically what from point A to point B I have to supply my customers ka goods, okay, and all were a B2B model, okay. But other than that, the only difference between each of them was probably the mode of transportation, or probably one company had more license, more accreditations compared to the other company, which resulted in better margins overall, right? So that is what we saw. But when we talk about Zinka Logistics or BLACKBUCK Logistics, they're not a logistic company in a traditional sense, which means what, they're not involved in उनका client है, उनका customer है, and they're transporting that good from point A to point B. They are not involved in, they are not responsible for any of these things. I mean, मतलब let's say if you have a supplier and you have to transport his good, BLACKBUCK या Zinka Logistics जो है वो करना ही नहीं वाला है. He is not concerned to how you transport the goods. Basically, in a simple word, if I have to tell you, Zinka Logistics या BLACKBUCK जो इसका company का नाम है, right? These people are a platform business, okay? They are not, I mean, although they operate in the logistics space, okay, they are merely a platform where basically there will be a couple of people who would want some service, and these people will provide that service. They will connect. They're an intermediary between a supplier and a buyer. Similar to, like, if I have to put it in a better term so that you can understand in an easy way, it would be there similar to India Mart. India Mart mein, that's a platform. वहाँ पे लोग आते हैं, they're selling something, there is a buyer who's buying that thing. You're just an intermediary. Similarly, another example of platform business which we use in our day-to-day life is आपका आपका food delivery में Zomato and Swiggy. Restaurants are there, they're hosting their restaurants on the platform. We as consumers, what we do, we go, we choose a restaurant, we order, and Zomato is nothing but a middleman जो आपका food जो है delivery करके देगा, ठीक है. Similarly यहाँ पे BLACKBUCK that is there, they are also that middleman, okay. They are like a platform business. They are not involved in transporting of goods from point A to point B, but merely a platform business in logistics space, okay. Now, what exactly is this platform business? How does this platform work? We will understand that, okay, because that is the core of understanding the business model, okay. Now, over here, if you have to see, like I told, these people are involved more in the roadways transportation. Now, as you know, logistics may, when you're talking about it, right, there are three ways. Either you go through roadways, you go through airways, or you go through shipways. Now, अगर आप roadways में कर रहे हो, right, roadways में कर रहे हो, what is the most convenient way of transportation of goods to road is through trucks, right? Now, trucks अगर आप operate करते, you see, right, most of the companies, they don't own the trucks. There will be some truck operator जिसके पास 5 ट्रक होगा, 10 ट्रक होगा, and these people have collaborations with them and they get it, right? So basically here the truck operator is the main guy, because let's say if I have to transport 150 kgs of tomato, right? I just have to transport it, but for me the entire logistics will be taken care by whomever I'm giving out the contract to, right? Like for example, let's say and in India traditionally, if you see these truck operators that are there, right, they own a lot of small and medium sized truck, most of them, okay. And in an average, these truck operators own like 5 trucks, like an average statistics के बारे में मैं बात कर रही हूँ, okay. Now see, ultimately as a supplier, I have 150 kg of tomatoes. I have to, let's say, transport it from Bangalore to, let's say, Haridwar, right? It is not my job. I will source it out to somebody. So who is the main guy over here in the entire logistics space? That truck operator who is responsible for the entire logistics solution, ठीक है. Now इस truck operator के बारे में बात करते हैं, ठीक है, because he is, like I told you, he is the main guy over here. इसके पास, now let's say he's a manager, let's say I'm the truck, let's say, now let me change, I'm the truck operator and I have 5 trucks over here, okay, and I manage 5 trucks, okay. Now what are the problems I will face as a truck operator? One is, let's say मुझे यहाँ पे I got a 150 kg का shipment to do from Bangalore to Haridwar, ठीक है. Now I complete that. Now let's say after completing that, to get a next shipment here, to get next order, there might be sometimes a delay of 1 week, sometimes days, sometimes months also, like you can't tell, it depends, right? Like there is no guarantee कि like with, because see most of this यहाँ पे जब हम ये ट्रक ऑपरेटर के बारे में बात करते हैं, it is still a very fragmented and unorganized space that we're dealing with, right? Everybody is a local player. There is nothing कि like एक systemized यहाँ पे एक ट्रक ऑपरेटर चल रहा है, ठीक है? Everything is local. So as a result क्या होता है, since there is no structure, since there is no organization over here, there is no guarantee कि like मुझे आगे जाके इस shipment के बाद और एक shipment हो. So as a truck operator मेरा क्या, मेरा loss हो रहा है ना, because my trucks has to be in constant movement for me to make money, right? अभी क्या हो गया यहाँ पे, probably I finished the shipment to Haridwar, after that I'm sitting idle, like my truck is sitting idle, probably next shipment में आने के लिए 10 to 12 days भी लगेगा. So in an average if you see in a month अगर 30 days होता है, यहाँ पे क्या होता है, एक truck operator is not able to be efficient with his trucks, okay? Probably only 20 days it will be on road, the other 10 to 12 days probably his truck is idling, okay? So as a result यहाँ पे क्या होता है, उसका main क्या है, asset क्या है, उसका truck, वहाँ पे वो asset is not working for him, as a result it's not great ना, उसका ही दिक्कत होगा. So this is one problem I will face as a truck. The second thing is, although I'm a truck operator, I have 5 trucks, 10 trucks, I am dependent on who? The driver, right? Now over here the entire truck business, like I told you, as you know, यहाँ पे truck drivers and all, they're not much, they do not, they don't have much of education and everything, and they're not very adaptable to tech and all, right? So यहाँ पे पूरा का पूरा business हम देखते हैं, truck business का, ये पूरा logistics जो है यहाँ पे roadways में truck में चलता है, ये पूरा cash based business है, पूरा का पूरा transaction cash में होता है, ठीक है? No, as you know, right, these people will not have a bank account and all, they might not know how to connect the bank account to UPI and all. It's a very, it's very tough over here. So पूरा cash business में क्या होता है, let's say for example I have a truck, like I told you, Bangalore to Haridwar में बेचना है, I am responsible now for everything, right? As a truck operator, I have taken the क्या बोलते हैं, the load of transporting my suppliers 150 kgs of tomato from point A to point B. Now it is my responsibility to hire a truck driver, to make sure to pay all the toll charges, to make sure the truck has proper fuel to go from point A to point B. अगर बीच में कुछ fueling करना है, पेट्रोल डालना है, डीजल डालना है, वो भी मेरा ही खर्चा है, ठीक है? नाउ अगर ये बीच में जो ये जो कॉस्ट आता है, टोल का चार्जेस आते हैं, फ्यूल का चार्जेस आते हैं, लाइक आई टोल्ड यू, द बैंक अकाउंट्स एंड ऑल आर नॉट कनेक्टेड, राइट? सो एवरीथिंग ओवर हियर क्या होता है, कैश में होता है. सो एज अ ट्रक ऑपरेटर मुझे क्या करना पड़ता है, मुझे मेरे ट्रक वाले को, मेरे बंदे को थोड़ा पैसा देना पड़ता है एवरी टाइम, ठीक है? मतलब ये फ्यूल का चार्जेस, ये टोल का चार्जेस. बट ऑफन टाइम्स क्या होता है, people can misuse this, a lot of these truck drivers that are there, they can quote you a higher price than what it isn't, okay? Like for example, they might tell कि like fuel का इतना खर्चा हुआ probably, but he instead of putting 100 liters he probably put only 90 liters, but वो 10 liters का पैसा आपसे उठा लिया उसने, and there is no way to check ना कि like did he actually use the 100 liters, did he actually refill fill the tank with 90 liters? There is no way. So यहाँ पे एक दिक्कत आता है, because sometimes the drivers that are there, they can quote you higher, and इसके वजह से भी truck operator का problem होता है, he can be cheated over here also, right, from his drivers. This is another one. The third is, see, another thing I have to tell कि like ये truck operator जो है, how will he make more money? Like I told you, the truck has to be on movement a lot on the road. The second thing, it has to be efficient. The faster I can deliver my good from point A to point B, then the faster I can do another shipment. The more shipments that I do, the more money that I get. Now what will happen, again, you're totally dependent over here. Although you're a truck operator and you own 5 to 10 trucks, you're ultimately dependent on the driver, right, at the end of the day. Now what will happen, again, since again this is a very unfragmented, fragmented space, unorganized space, there is no way to track, like, there is no way to track for a truck operator at the end of the day, like point A से point B जा रहा है, is it, usually when you operate through GPS, right? Let's say for example, if I have to go to Bangalore to Mysore, I know it will take 3 hours. I send you my live location on WhatsApp, you would know if I'm taking a break, how much break I've taken, everything you get to know if I have the GPS on me. But this doesn't happen. As a result, what will happen? Probably the delivery time is actually 2 days, but maybe the driver that is there, he took a lot of rest in between, and he's driving very slowly, he's very inefficient. As a result, the 2 days delivery time went on to become 4 days, right? And किसका loss होता है? Truck operator का loss होता है यहाँ पे, because he could have used that extra 2 days to do another shipment. The other thing also, see, ultimately the faster you can deliver a product, the more you can charge your customer also. So now you understand कि like ये truck operator का जो है, although he is a big man, he is the big daddy and he owns a lot of truck, you understand the amount of problems he faces over here, because there is no way to monitor your truck, because you are probably sitting in Bangalore and you are sending your trucks with your drivers, to carry that shipment to Haridwar, to Amritsar, to somewhere in Chennai. But how will you track it? There is nothing for you to track. Now you're just like Mo Maya, you're sitting at your home crossing your legs, and it's like you're praying to God, like bhai sab kuch mera, let it happen in my way, like full Mo Maya ka mode hai yahan pe, right? But having said that, this is where BLACKBUCK comes and tries to solve your problem. Okay, what BLACKBUCK is trying to do is ki like, they are telling the truck operators ki like, see, I know you have so and so problems, and that is where I'm coming to, I'll provide you with a solution. I have an app, I have an app. So basically they have an app, that is what I was telling you, na, ek platform service. This is a platform. This truck operator that is there, the truck operator, jo owner of the truck, he will register himself, in this BLACKBUCK platform. And after that kya hoga yahan pe is BLACKBUCK platform. It's such a tongue twister, BLACKBUCK. So anyways, BLACKBUCK platform mein aayega, he will register himself, So basically in this platform, like I told you, there is a free service. Free service ka matlab kya hai, you can just see ki like, kaun sa, before I go to the free service, let me just explain the business model once again. So here yahan pe kya hoga, he will register himself in this BLACKBUCK app and he will put all his trucks over here. Now what BLACKBUCK will do, they will provide you with a platform where basically, earlier, like I told you, how will this, let's say for example, tolling ka kaise hota? The truck operator will give money to the truck guy. He will only have to do personally yahan pe. Now since you have connected your trucks in this platform, BLACKBUCK platform, they will connect your account to the FASTag. You might have seen Sara ka Saura tolls mein ek FASTag rehta hai, due to which automatic cut off. All you have to do is you have to recharge your account over here. Okay, you have to recharge your account. Basically, see, another thing over here is, like I told you, yahan pe all these truck drivers that are there, they are not comfortable putting, their bank account ka details and everything, right? Most of them will not have a bank account also. So what they'll do is BLACKBUCK mein unka company ka ek account hota hai, due to which will be connected to the FASTag, right? And it will be connected to the truck. So every time it passes through the toll, now you no longer have to give cash to your home. You don't have to give cash to your truck driver. Okay, so it will be automatically deducted over there. Ye pehla baat hua. So that is where BLACKBUCK does. The second is, like I told you, the biggest thing over here, fuel, right? Because somebody can come, कि like आपका truck driver जो मैंने बोला था 100 liters truck, he might give you the bill, but he's probably put only petrol of 90 liters. Again here also they have a fuel system over here. Basically, due to which उनका एक app में जो होता है, in the app that is there, in the app, they have, it is connected to all the petroleum, Bharat, what is that, Bharat Petroleum, everything. All he has to do is scan that app, his account will be connected, the company's account will be connected, and if he's putting 90 liters of petrol, वो 90 liter ही होगा and it will get deducted. Basically now I am not giving the cash. It is not like truck driver fuel डाल रहा है फिर मुझे bill दे रहा है और मैं उसको पैसा दे रही हूँ. No, everything happens on the app. Basically, everything is connected on the app. वो वहाँ पे जा रहा है, fueling कर रहा है, automatically the money that is there, it will get deducted. He has to have that app to show. ठीक है, that is second service. The third service that, like I told you, vehicle tracking. Along with that fueling services, there is also called as fuel sensor यहाँ पे. ठीक है, like I told you, right, you have to know कि like how much, let's say if your mileage is like 90 kilometer, 90 नहीं होगा, 20 kilometer per hour है, that is he's not like truck is selling some Haibus or something, but anyways 20 kilometer per hour है, you have this fuel sensor, to detect कि like कितना fuel है, how much it is required for a certain kind of mileage and everything. ये भी services provide करता है. Now the fourth is, vehicle tracking. Like I told you, shipment शायद 2 दिन का है, right, and probably the driver might take 3 days. So they attach a GPS system on the truck, due to which it calculates what is the distance that is required for you to do a shipment from point A to point B, kitna lagega, including the brakes and everything. Now what will happen as a truck operator? Look at the advantages that I have. I am sitting at Bangalore. I have an app, right? Mere app mein I have 5 trucks in this app that has been connected. I will just look at my app and I know exactly, just sitting in my house, crossing my legs, I can say ki like, okay, my delivery guy has crossed the Bangalore Tumkur highway now, right? So now I know he's crossed this highway. I know I can exactly sit and track over here where my truck is, how long it will take, if my driver is taking any rest, if he's doing any kind of gudbad over here, he's supposed to take probably 1 hour rest, but instead of that, he's taking everything. I can sit and track in my phone. Second thing, I know that मेरा गाड़ी में इतना इतना fuel है, that fuel sensor is there. So let's say if that guy is going for fueling, I will get to know कि like okay, the petrol का जो limit है वो कम हो गया है, आगे जाके कोई petrol bunk नहीं है, so that is why he is fueling now. I know why he is fueled, how much he is fueled, he is not doing cheating anything. Third, I also know कि like किस stall पे कितना कितना काट रहा है, everything, right? So basically what happened, all the tension, all the problem that me as a truck operator had earlier, that is what BLACKBUCK comes and solves over here. Other than that, what they also do, what they also provide is, like I told you, the other most biggest problem was कि like ये जो shipment जाता है from point A to point B, there goes a shipment, and after that probably there is no shipment at all, so your truck is sitting idling. They also provide a platform where you can connect to various people, as to like there could be a company that requires an urgent load of 200 metric tons ka, they have to sell from one place to, they have to send from one place to another. You can use the BLACKBUCK platform to connect to different आपका जो buyer है, so that you can supply your goods from point A to point B. In this way what will happen, again your truck ka jo hai entire system gets even more efficient. Okay, this is another one. Other than that, let's say for example see the entire truck ka, a lot of times what happens, the truck operator will not have money to buy a new truck. Okay, he might want to buy a second hand, third hand truck and all. But having said that, again, right, it becomes very difficult to like kahan se le truck, kahan se again that entire leasing space is also, leasing and renting space, buying space second hand car is also very tough. So again BLACKBUCK comes over here. You can list your second hand, third hand truck, and you can connect with you can connect basically like how car trade does. Similarly over here also you can come buy the second hand, third hand truck, you can connect with that supplier and you can buy it. Not only that, they also provide you financing option also. They are connected with this Shriram Finance, various other financing companies. So the truck operator, not only he gets a supplier to buy the second hand truck, but also his financing problems that are there, they connect you to various financial banks and NBFCs that are there and try to provide you with a loan and everything. So basically for the truck operator, whatever the problems that he is facing or has been facing, these people come as a middleman and try to solve. Okay, now you understood this. Now you understood what their business model is. So you can ask me like, Prerna, understand this, how do they make money? Do they have like a gold membership, everything? So similarly over here, like I told you, inka bhi ek membership ka, they have different status over here. Okay, so here also, if you come and open the BLACKBUCK app, the only free thing that you do, I'm a truck operator, I open the BLACKBUCK app, the only free thing that I can do is I can find all this, let's say if somebody is selling the second hand truck, third hand truck, only I can get to know who the supplier is, and that's it. That is all the free things I can do. Okay, but other than that, anything I have to do, I have to pay a service. Okay, basically again you come under different services like gold service, that service and all. But other than that, the main amount of money is made the first time you join the app. You have an activation services. Like for example, if you guys have used Zerodha ka app, Zerodha ka platform, remember they charge you 200 rupees as joining fee. I don't know if you guys remember that. It is not there with any other brokerage app. Similarly here also in BLACKBUCK, when you join for the first time, you have to pay an activation fee. After that every time now for tolling I have to connect my account with the FASTag account and everything. For that there will be an activation fee. I have to connect my account with the fueling account. For that there will be an activation fee. For that there will be another activation fee. So similarly like that, for different things there will be a fee there, and you will take a percentage of charges for everything. So this is how they make money. Okay, this is how it is. So I hope the entire business model that is there, you people have understood, and there has been no problem in this. Okay, now let us talk about the numbers. Oh, by the way, the other thing I have to tell ki like unka jo, if you look at their revenue, 84% of the revenue comes from the tolling services that they provide. That is basically आपका जो how do I put this, आपका when you cross any highways, or you want to take some highways, you have to pay the toll charges na, which is connected to your FASTag account. From there, and the second one is vehicle tracking. Basically आपका GPS का जो है, which is mounted on your truck, that is there, which is from there you get this 84.2% of the revenue. And the rest, other 15%, like we told, fuel sensors, fuel tracking, vehicle financing, second hand truck का buying करना, all of this contributes to the other 15%. Okay, so I hope this is clear about the entire business model. Now let us talk about the most important thing. Let us talk about the numbers. Sales has been really fantastic set of numbers. Okay, if you look on Q2 on Q2 basis, on a year-on-year sales grew by 54%. Absolutely thagada, everything great. Now it is not fair to compare the other four logistics company with BlackBuck, because like I told you, those people are responsible for selling, not selling, for transporting goods from point A to point B. It is their responsibility. BlackBuck is not responsible for transporting your goods from point A to point B, right? They are just providing a platform. So whoever the truck operator who's transporting the goods from point A to point B, it makes their life easier. Whereas the other four people, they have to use this truck operator in order to send their goods from point A to point B. Ye samajh mein aa gaya? That is why I'm not going to do a peer-to-peer analysis with the other logistics company, because business model jo hai is completely different. If I have to compare yahan pe business model with the other four companies, it will be like as if I'm comparing Zomato and Swiggy with restaurant brand Asia, Devyani, Sapphire, which are like restaurants, fast food companies hai, hotel business hai. How can I compare it with Zomato and Swiggy? It is not possible na. So similarly over here, okay. So like I told you, sales growth is tagda, 54% ka year on year sales growth hai, absolutely mind blowing. Now one thing is, if you go to the PAT, you will see that PAT jo hai, you will see that the losses is widened, right? Last time shayad negative 49 crore mein tha, and this time you will see like negative like 269 crores mein hai, like the losses has widened, you can tell. But that is not the case, okay. There are actually, if you look into the income statement, there are a couple of exceptional items. First of all, if you look at their actual profit before tax from their core operations, they have gone from last time, last Q2 May, they had a loss of 40 crore. From that loss of 40 crore in last Q2, they have come this time in this Q2, it has become a profitable of 12 crore. So the company has turned profitable. In fact, they were profitable only. It is just that, since it is a very new company, what happens is there are certain times, like there are certain quarters, I think the volatility is so much in this, in terms of seasonality, the volatility is so much, probably like, there are certain quarters where the EPS growth is not there, and certain quarters where the EPS growth is there. Like it is a company that is slowly turning break even. But having said that, this quarter, they have turned positive, which used to not be the case. Like in fact, if you see last year many quarters, it wasn't really profitable for them. In fact, to give you the exact numbers, yeah, last time literally सारा का सारा quarters में it was loss making, like 36 crore 48 crore वैसा losses था. This time the quarter 1 also has been profitable, even the quarter 2 also, in spite of being a lean quarter, it has been profitable. मैं क्यों lean quarter बोल रही हूँ? Because as you know, Q2 में monsoon होता है, right? बहुत तगड़ा monsoon होता है. So lot of, and all these companies that are there, whether it is an FMCG company, paint company, उनका ही lean season चलता है because of QT. Now if those people are not transporting, right, then how will a truck operator who uses structured transport, he will not make money. And on top of that, इतना बारिश होता है, monsoon होता है, landsliding होता है, ये होता है. That is why Q2 is a lean quarter. But again, this quarter, if you see this year, both the quarters, Q1 as well as Q2, they have turned profitable. Like I told you, PAT has gone from minus 40 crore last time to 12 crore. Okay, that is there. Now the second thing that you have to see over here is कि like ये PAT जो है क्यों ये negative में हुआ. Now there are two exceptional items. Okay, the पहला exceptional item is there has been an exceptional item of 270 crore उनका एक one time gain है. Now this one time gain has come because they have sold their contract trade business है, they've sold one of their subsidiaries. As a result, a one time profitable of 270 crore है. Other than that, if you see, there has been a one time loss also of 320 odd crores. Okay, now why this has come is because there are many shareholders, they have to make this one time share payment, they have to make share based payment based on the face value of the company and everything. As a result, because of this only, you see that the losses that you might see looks widened. Both of these are one time cost. As a result, the income statement, when you look at a glance, you might feel like are toba toba, you might feel, but that is not the case. Company's performance has been really good, high sales growth and high, it has also turned profitable. Now other than these two metrics, there is another two metrics that you have to see, which is very important for a platform business. Okay, the number one, other than that, is I have to see that my average monthly, the number of customers that are there, it keeps increasing. Okay, before I go, you will see that, like why is that they turned profitable again even in this quarter, why they were able to maintain, that operating leverage is because if you look at their customer ka ratios, if you see, around 22 to 25% of the customers were repeated customers. Okay, basically whoever were using earlier, either in the last year or the year before that, right? So now since I am having the same customer who who were using last year, my customer acquisition cost is less this year compared to last year. As a result, you see यहाँ पे इतना बड़ा operating leverage मिला, they went from loss to profit. Okay, that is one point. Now coming to the other two metrics that you have to see with any platform businesses, volume and value growth. Volume का मतलब क्या? आपका let's say number of orders या number of customers that is there is interacting with the app should be more. ठीक है? Now even if you see over here, the average monthly जो है, the monthly transacting truck operators that is there, which is basically let's say this time I have 100 truck operators using my app. Now I'm having like 122 trucks. So that is like the volume. So number of truck operators that is there using my app has increased, which is the volume growth, right? More number of people are using the app. So this metric, if you see, that has risen by 22% on a year-on-year basis. Then the other thing we have to see is the value growth, right? Because see, यहाँ पे how do I make money as a BLACKBUCK? That is, let's say the truck operators that are there, right? These truck operators, they have to come, they have to use my app, not just use my app, but they have to do a lot of services, right? Because once they come to my app, I have an activation fees. After that, for every service that they use, I will take a part and percentage of it, right? So the more services that they use, the more verticals that they use. Let's say they were using earlier tolling, then they use fuel, then they use fuel sensing, then they use vehicle financing. The more and more services they use, the more and more verticals that they use, I as BLACKBUCK will make more money, right? Which means what? They have to spend more over here. This is called as आपका gross transaction value. जितना आपका tolling का payment, fueling का payment आप यहाँ पे कर रहे हो, I will make more money. So you would want to see this gross transaction value that is there will go up. What is this gross transaction value? Let's say I'm a truck operator right now and I've spent like let's say 10,000 rupees on tolling, okay, and I've spent another 50,000 rupees on fueling services, okay. So total मैंने BLACKBUCK में कितना, although I have not spent on BLACKBUCK, I've used it for my own operations, right? Tolling में मेरा because I'm traveling from Bangalore to Mysore का highway, मेरा let's say 10,000 का खर्चा हुआ यहाँ पे, and the other time I got a e-billing, वे billing करके मेरा 60,000 का खर्चा हुआ. This is the operations that I have spent for my operations, the money that I spent for my operations. It's not the fees that I'm paying for BLACKBUCK, no, right? So यहाँ पे gross transaction value is the total amount the truck operator spends various kinds of services. Like for example, I'll give you a better way to explain GTV. Is like let's say when you're getting from Zomato, you're ordering a food. आपने let's say इडली सांभर खरीदा 100 rupees के लिए, ठीक है? उसके बाद आपका डिलीवरी चार्जेस है 50 रुपए, 150 rupees. फिर आपका प्लेटफॉर्म फी है 10 rupees, ठीक है? एंड देन लेट्स से देयर इज सम पैकिंग चार्जेस आपका, ठीक है, अनदर 50 rupees. So total bill आपका क्या है? 210. As a customer, I'm paying 210 over here. But is Zomato going to earn 210 rupees? No, right? Because out of that 210 rupees, 100 will go to restaurant, 50 rupees will go to delivery. I am left with hardly anything as Zomato. Similarly over here also, GTV is not equal to the revenue, okay? Because GTV is the money that the truck operator is spending in his operations. You are probably getting a percentage of it. But why GTV is important? The more amount he spends, the larger is the transaction value. You also know that adaptability of app is more over here. Not just that adaptability of app is more, but the fact that you also get you also get a percentage the more verticals that you use. Now if you look at the gross transaction value, even this, the value growth that is called, the app may, if the more number of people use it, it becomes volume growth. यहाँ पे the more number of payments you do, it is a value growth over here, right? And the value growth has been 31.54% का growth on a year-on-year basis. So you see over here, sales growth is there, operating leverage is visible, volume growth is there, value growth is there. And I've always spoken about it, right? जब भी एक business में हो, I would need both volume growth as well as value growth for me. That is an ideal way of doing business. Let's say if my volume growth is coming at a like value growth ka isme, by not having any value growth, then that is a very negative thing. यहाँ पे what could that have been? Basically I'm getting people, more and more number of people coming on my app, but I'm telling them कि like free में, I will do free में आपका फास्टैग, free में मैं आपका connect करवाऊंगा भारत पेट्रोल के साथ, everybody free में I will do. Then what will happen? More number of people are using my app, but having said that, मेरा value growth नहीं है यहाँ पे, right? So this is a problem, but we're not seeing this problem in BLACKBUCK. क्या हो रहा है? Volume growth भी है, value growth भी है, तगड़ा ही तगड़ा business है at the end of the day, ठीक है? Margins are also great over here, absolutely stunning set of numbers like I told you, ठीक है? So overall you see, right, with the business, this is what, this is the entire gist of the business. You see, right, the numbers have been stunning, the management is very confident about doing, like way more in H2 compared to what they have done in H1. Very, very solid business है and everything, ठीक है? Now let us talk about what are the problems, what are the risk over here associated with the business. One is, like I told you, यहाँ पे since it is a logistic business, it is dependent a little bit on macroeconomics, right? Because जितना आपका economy है उतना आपका people will buy, people will आपका देश का economy बढ़ेगा, then obviously trucking logistics भी बढ़ेगा. So 20 to 30% of the business is dependent on this macroeconomic factors. The second thing is यहाँ पे truck operator is a big daddy, he is your customer. Now truck operator, for him also it is a bit challenges because he has to make sure he has to educate his truck drivers, and right, truck driver ka ek, they might not be adaptable to all these tech platforms as easily. So this is another thing. The third thing over here is, again, there is a, like I told you, the entire trucking ka business jo hai, it happens through cash. Cash is like everything over here. Okay, now here also there will come a problem because because everything is happening through app, right? The payment is happening through app. So probably again, this truck drivers and the operators might feel ki like, arey, like, because see, all this big value of transaction happens. It could be probably 2 lakhs for some of you might not be anything, but probably for another person that 2 lakh is everything, right? And itna working capital का crunch होता है. Sometimes there might not be that trust factor यहाँ पे कि like अरे कोई मेरे पेमेंट के साथ कुछ चीटिंग ना कर दिया जाए, right? That is another thing, that trust factor is little bit there. So this is, I would say, certain problems that are there. And I think, but having said that, this will only get better. I mean, this will only become lesser and lesser as we go, because I think today, irrespective of T1 city में रह रहे हो, T3 city में रह रहे हो, slowly we're seeing so much adaptation, right? I mean, everybody is using UPI and everything, right? I think that will slowly improve only. And another thing over here for them, I would tell an advantage is, right now if you see, like I told you, 84.2% of the revenue comes from tolling and the vehicle tracking. Okay, now kabhi kya hota hai in this tolling system, let's say, okay, by the way, if anybody has used that Bangalore to Mysore ka highway, you people will be able to relate. Okay, now in this Bangalore to Mysore ka highway kya hai, let's say I'm starting from point A and all the way to, let's say, now I have to get down from, let's say the entire highway is 20 kilometers, but I am not using all the 20 kilometers. I'm just probably getting off of the highway after 5 kilometers. But since I'm using, there is no provision as to, like, I get to pay only for 5 kilometers of the highway I've used. I have to pay the entire toll charges, let's say the 200 rupees. Okay, so this is there. Okay, so they're putting this vehicle tracking in the way, like, the toll charges will become less, where how much ever the truck will be used. It is a new thing that will be put up by the government. We should see that regulation. If this comes up again, more and more people will come and use their platform, because they're the only people who will have this kind of technology. Okay, other than, yeah, this is one thing that I have to highlight. यहाँ पे इनका, they will gain even more market share, because as of now I believe their market share is 40% in this entire business, platform business. So I think that will also increase, right? So that is one thing to note down over here, right? I think, what else is there? I've covered literally everything that you will have to know about the business. As you know, in the entire logistics space, tailwind is immense only, there is no problem. Valuation wise, I will not discuss, because one thing is, I do not know what the EPS growth will be like, right? As you know, I only take 1 year forward के PE यहाँ पे, and having said that, there is no clue कि, like, EPS आगे जाके, to what rate it will grow. I think that is, I do not have a visibility of that, so it would be unfair to make a valuation calculation over here. And also, I do not want to do anything intentionally एक wrong calculation करको आपको दिखाने के लिए, just because I have to do something, right? And that would be a disservice to both, to you, to my wonderful community, as well as the, whoever the company I'm discussing about, right? So that is the thing. But having said that, very interesting business model, very good growth, very good set of numbers. Even I think the way the management was speaking, like the promoters, very passionate people. Only thing we have to do is we have to track and see, if it continues, if the pace of growth, very most important, this 50% ka ye pace of growth, will they be able to sustain or not? And will we see, the profitability that is there? Because if it is a platform business, your operating leverage is immense. Once I've acquired the customer, he will keep using that. Customer acquisition cost is once, right? So how much operating leverage will we see going forward? What will be the profitability, right? Do we see a huge operating leverage or not? That is something that I'm very interested to see about this business, how it goes forward, right? So let us track the business and see Q3 and Q4 may H2, which is a very wonderful season for all the logistics company. Let us see how it goes. Okay, so that's that about this. I will see you again in another video. I think I'll be covering some other manufacturing companies. I'll see you in that video. Until then, take care. Bye.